Now, this is how kindness is ruining relationships. Now, my kings, I know this sounds ridiculous because it doesn't even make sense. But I am not just saying this. A research was actually carried out on this, so it is real. And before we get into the research and its results, let me even explain what I mean. Kindness is killing relationships. Now, there is this thing about us human beings where we want to be kind. It is in our nature to be kind. And because of this kindness, because of this fear of hurting other people that we have deep rooted in us, sometimes we end up making mistakes. A lot of people end up in relationships that they were not even supposed to be in just because they were afraid of how not being in that relationship will hurt the other person. Now, bringing it down to kings. A lot of kings are with women or are trying to get married to women whom they have no business marrying because they are afraid to hurt the woman's feeling. And let me bring it home a little more. Now you see a king who knows that, okay, I've seen this woman, I'm interested in her, let me get to know her. Now when he starts getting to know this woman, he realizes that, okay, this is not really what I want in a woman. But because maybe the woman has started committing to the relationship, he starts feeling bad. He starts feeling like, okay, I came to her first. And now she's feeling me. How am I going to hurt her feelings? Okay, let me just let it linger for a little bit. Let me just let her enjoy it for a little bit. And before you know, years are gone. A year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And now when it is actually time to settle down, you are forced by yourself to want to make sure you marry this woman. Because now again, there is another guilt in you that feels like, I have been with this lady for so long. How is she going to feel if I don't marry her now? Unless you knew from the beginning that you were just out to play this woman, that is when it is going to be very easy for you to let go. But if you genuinely had no intention of hurting her, or you kind of felt like, okay, I'm going to hurt her if I wake up now, so let me just wait a little longer. And then 1 year turned to 2 years, to 3 years, to 4 years. Believe me, 90% of the time, you're going to end up marrying that woman. Regardless, you know that she's not the one you want to marry. And that is why there are high rates of divorce in our times. Because there are a lot of people who marry, even some people marry because of what will people say, or what people think. Let me also use this being together for so long as example. You've been with this woman so long, you feel like, okay, what are people going to say if we don't get married? You feel like a lot of people already know that you are both together, so you just have to marry her. And now when it gets to my see, there is the things you felt like you could manage during dating or a relationship. Believe me, they are going to choke you in marriage. You are going to wonder because to you, you might feel like, okay, I've coped with it all this while we were dating, so I can handle it in marriage. It is different. By the time it gets to marriage, that is when you see a lot of couples getting a divorce. That is when you see people who's been dating for years or who dated for years get married and end up getting a divorce. Now, let me not, divert too much. Let me come back to the whole kindness situation. Because you feel like you don't want to hurt this person, you end up hurting them more than you would have if you had just let them go from the beginning. Because even if finally when it is time for you to settle down, you gather the courage and break it to her that you don't want to be with her. I am using her because I know I'm talking to kings, but this can go anyway. you break it to her that you don't want to settle with her anymore, this woman is going to be devastated because after all these years, she would have been hurt if you let her go at the early stages, but it wouldn't hurt as much as after 4 years, after 2 years, even after 6 months. So don't let it linger, my kings. Now, I spoke about a research. There was a research that was conducted where people were gathered, male and female, and they were given profiles to choose people to go on dates with. And now, after they chose the people they would like to go on a date with, they were now told about the people's physical disabilities. And then, before asking them if they wanted to still go on with this date, they were told that the people were around. Like the people that they showed them had these physical disabilities were around them. And believe me, this research shows that a lot of these women and men ended up going on that date regardless because they knew that the person involved was around. So because of that kindness, that empathy to not hurt the person's feeling, because now this person is going to know that you chose them because you thought that they were okay. And then when you found out that they have a disability, you ruled them out. So because you are afraid, naturally as a human being, of how this is going to make this person feel, because you know the person is right there, a lot of them ended up choosing to go on that date. And this is how kindness is ruining relationship. Even women do it. Men do it. They date out of pity. They feel like, okay, he's been asking me out for so long. Okay, let me just be with him so that he can calm down. And that is a very wrong reason to enter any relationship. Or you feel like, oh, she's been around me for so long, so let me just go ahead and marry her. These things are wrong reasons. Yes, you intend not to hurt this person, but I am telling you, 98% of the time, you are going to hurt them even more on the long run. So it is better to chest it at the beginning. It is better to admit it. Okay, yeah, I was coming for you because I liked you from a distance, but now getting to know you, there are a lot of things that don't sit well with me. So please, I'm sorry if this means hurting your feelings, or we can't continue this relationship because I don't really feel what I thought I felt for you anymore. She is going to be hurt, but it would be better than leading her on for years and then finally ending up where it would choke you so much so that you will not have an option than to break it to her and then hurt her even more. So yes, my kings, this is how kindness is ruining relationship. And as crazy as this might sound, as unpopular as it might be, it is a real thing. It happens. So don't do it, my kings. Don't be in situations unless you yourself, you just want to play around. Or if you really want something tangible, if you want a relationship and you're actually trying to be kind enough to let her go as early as possible. Because that will mean you hurting her a little less than how it would have been if it took more time. And it would actually be harder for you to pull away when it has been a lot of time than when it is just at the early stages. So yes, my kings, this is simply how kindness is killing relationships, especially in our modern times. Please do let me know if you found this video interesting and informative as well. Do also subscribe if you haven't done that already. Turn on the notification bell. Like this video. Drop a comment down below. Share this video with your family and friends. And see you in the next one.